Hello and welcome to this video about information searching. In this video, we're going to cover advanced search skills. First, we're going to look at developing a search strategy. We'll also cover how to make searches efficient and effective. Then we'll explore best places to put these techniques into practice in terms of where to search. Finally, we'll briefly mention where you can find extra help after watching this video. So where does the search journey begin? Creating a plan is the best place to start. This can save you time in the long run and help you find better results. First of all, think about the topic you're researching and the words you can use for this search. This could be the topic of your subject more broadly or the specific assignment question you've been given. When you're given an assignment question, you first need to filter out unnecessary words such as the and what. You can also remove instructional words like discuss or analyze. Let's imagine this is our assignment question. To what extent is Britain a multicultural society? What are the key words in this question? Once we filter out unnecessary and instructional words like to what extent, we are left with keywords that can be used in our search. These are Britain, multicultural, and society. When thinking about keywords, it's important to remember the same concepts or ideas can be referred to in different ways. Just like with this illusion, people can see the same image in different ways. You might see a young lady looking away, while other people see an older lady wearing a headscarf with her head tilted downward. So what am I getting at here? Basically, as we all see things in different ways, we need to remember that we all refer to things in different ways too. This means it's crucial to think of synonyms for our keywords. Synonyms are different words with the same meaning. If we don't think of these alternative words, we can overly restrict our searches based purely on the terminology we are using. A good example of this is the term football. A British student would likely use the term football when researching the sport shown in the image on the right. However, an American student would probably use the word soccer. Only searching for the word football could exclude research carried out in the US on the same topic. It could also bring up results for American football, which is a completely separate sport. Searching for both key terms, football and soccer, would ensure studies from both regions are included and help you avoid irrelevant results. With that in mind, let's go back to our key words, Britain, multicultural, and society. What are some synonyms or alternative words for these terms? Here are some examples of alternative words we could use. For Britain, we could also use UK, United Kingdom, British, and others. For multicultural, we could try integration, multiracial, and so on. And for society, community, culture, and nation. There are probably more alternative words than these, and you might come across more terms when you carry out your searches. Now that we've thought about our search strategy by identifying keywords and synonyms, we need to think about how to use and combine these words to make an efficient search. There are several techniques you can use to combine your search terms, and we're going to explore how to use Boolean operators, truncation or wildcards, and phrase searching to make searches more efficient. Boolean operators allow you to connect multiple keywords in various ways. These can be used to limit or increase your results. The three main Boolean operators that we'll cover today are and, or, and not. Using these words between your keywords tells the database how you want to connect the terms you're searching for. So let's start with and. And is used to limit your search, and it tells the database you only want it to show results that include both terms either side of the and operator. The example on the slide here is for chocolate and cake. By adding and, you're telling the database that you're only interested in results that mention both terms. So you're not interested in results that are only about chocolate, and you're not interested in cake unless it includes chocolate as well. As the Venn diagram shows, this will reduce the number of results that you see, making your search much more targeted and relevant. However, excluding everything that doesn't include both of those words can also overly restrict your search, so keep that in mind. Another Boolean operator is or. This is used to widen your search, and it enables you to search for synonyms within the same search. So following the example from earlier, searching for football or soccer would tell the database you want results that include either or both of these terms. Remember, this can overbroaden your search in some cases, though. The final operator we will mention today is not. This is probably used the least, but it's helpful for excluding words that might keep showing in your results, but which aren't relevant to your assignment or research. For example, If you were researching the media but were interested in radio, you could include media, not radio, in your search. From the Venn diagram, you can see that this will also exclude any results in the middle section that mention both media and radio. So be careful, as something that is relevant could be within this middle section.
Now we're going to look at how to apply Boolean operators when searching the library website. You can follow along by visiting the link on this slide. Many databases are set up to make using Boolean operators and other advanced search techniques easier for you by using the advanced search options. So we're going to take a look at how to use the library's advanced search options, which are shown here on this slide. To access advanced search, either click the link below the search box on the library homepage, or if you're already in the middle of another search as shown in this tab, you can click the advanced search button. As you can see, my search for UK by itself retrieved over 15 million results. There's a second box below which is already connected with the AND operator, and I'm going to add multicultural here to refine the search further and reduce the number of results. The results drastically decrease when you add additional keywords. To add a third keyword, click the plus button. In this third box, I'm going to add society. You can also connect terms by typing Boolean operators directly in the search box, and I'm going to do this now to search for society or culture. Remember, this should broaden the search and increase the results. Another good technique for making your search more efficient is using truncation, or stem search, as it's also called. This allows you to search for different endings of words in the same search. You can do this by removing the end of a word and replacing it with an asterisk, wildcard, or another symbol depending on which database you are using. Using truncation can work in a variety of situations. When searching for culture, for example, we could replace the final E of the word with an asterisk, and this will instruct the database to show results for different variations of this word, including culture, cultures, cultural, and so on. We're going to look at how to do this using the library search again and search for nation. Going back to the library homepage, I'm going to search for nation in the search box. And this will take us through to the database, and once the results load, you can see that we have over 2 million results. Now if we add an asterisk to the end, it will then bring up results for different variations of this word, such as nations, national, nationalism, and so on. And you can see that the results have gone up to over 31 million, so using this method really does broaden your search.
Not surprisingly, there are drawbacks to using this method, so beware of overusing truncation or truncating too early in a word. For example, if we were researching for computers, truncating after COMP would bring results for computer, computers, and computable, which would be helpful for your search, but would also bring up results for comparable, comparison, and many other irrelevant terms.
The last technique we're going to look at is called phrase searching. What phrase searching does is keep multiple words that form key phrases together in your search. Based on our keywords and synonyms, this could include Great Britain and United Kingdom, for example. Putting United Kingdom in quotation marks in your search instructs the database or search engine to keep these keywords together and only show results when they appear together in that order. So it wouldn't show results that only mentioned United or Kingdom on their own, which is good because this could include lots of irrelevant information. Sometimes databases will apply this technique automatically in order to make your results more relevant, but it's still helpful to apply this method whenever you search for phrases, just in case the database doesn't have that capability. From the library homepage, I'm going to search for Great Britain, first without quotation marks. It will take a few seconds for the database to bring up my search results, but then you can see there are lots of results here, over 600,000. Now I'm going to add quotation marks around this phrase. And we can see that the results have gone down slightly. This is because the database already applies phrase searching to some of the results to make them more relevant, but it's still a good way of reducing some of the irrelevant information from the results list.
By now you should be fairly familiar with advanced search and how the different techniques can be used within specifically designed search engines. Advanced search options work in a similar way on different databases. Using more subject-specific databases instead of the general library search will bring you more relevant results. So let's have a look at how to find the best databases for you. On the library homepage, as you can see here on the slide, underneath the Study and Research Support heading, you can see the words Subject Guide. If you click on that link, you'll be taken to a list of subject guides. There's a subject guide for each department, and they've been put together by your academic liaison librarian. The guides contain a whole range of useful resources specifically for your subject area, including databases. Hopefully you are now more confident using advanced search techniques and are also aware of where to find the databases that are specific to your subject area. The important thing to remember from all of this is that literature searching does take time, so make sure you don't leave it until last minute. Remember that you need time to plan, practice, and adapt your search technique, and still need to read the material once you've found it. You also need to prepare to try different searches depending on the results that you get. This diagram goes through some tips of what to do if you find your search is bringing too few results. First, a simple one. Check your spelling, as most databases won't autocorrect or assume like Google does. Also check the database coverage. Does it cover the subject area you're researching or the years that research in that area might have been published? You could also try alternative or less specific keywords. Think of more synonyms and add them to your search by using the OR operator, or broaden the search even more by truncating some keywords if it's relevant. If you are finding too many results, which is equally as frustrating, you can try more specific keywords and can use AND to include additional concepts to make your search more specific. You can also use phrase searching if you have multi-word phrases, and make sure to use the limits available in the databases you're using. You may also find some irrelevant terms keep cropping up in your results, so you can try the not operator to exclude these. Hopefully you'll get to the stage where the number of the results is just right. When you reach this stage, firstly think about whether you have covered everything. Is there anything you thought you would find in the results that you haven't? If the answer is yes, think of some new terms or concepts or search in other databases. You can also run author searches for key authors in the area, or use citation searching, which we will come back to. If you think you have covered everything you need, make sure to save your results. This can be done in the database itself, depending on the database's functionality, in reference management software, or in a more manual format, such as a list or spreadsheet. Make sure to also record the searches you have carried out in your search plan. This is good for if you need to return to the topic at a later date, and will save you time in the long run. As just mentioned, citation searching is a great way to find more research after your initial searches. Looking at the reference lists of relevant articles you find will help you to find other relevant articles. This is called snowballing. Furthermore, if you know a particular journal is highly relevant to your topic, then look through the contents of this journal. Online journals often have more recent articles than the databases, so checking their websites can be a good technique for finding the latest research. If you know of a particular author who has written a lot on your topic, you can look for their other works by using the author search option on the library's advanced search, specific databases, or Google. All of these techniques are not only helpful when searching on academic databases and the library website, but can also be used when searching the broader internet. Google Scholar is a search engine that you are likely familiar with and can be used to broaden your search. However, be aware that Google Scholar doesn't always have the most up-to-date research, and not everything it displays in its results will be peer-reviewed. A good tip when using Google Scholar is to set up library links. You can do this by going to Google Scholar and selecting Settings. From there, click on the library links, as you can see on the slide. Once you're on the library links page, you then need to search for Essex in the search bar. Then choose University of Essex, get this item at Essex. Setting this up will mean that Google Scholar will flag any articles it knows you have access to via the library subscriptions and takes you through to them using your university credentials. However, do be aware that this isn't always accurate, so we'd always recommend searching the library website too. We run sessions on Google search techniques, and you can also complete the Google Search Skills online tutorial. A link to this tutorial and some of our other online content will be available in this video's description.
When you're searching the broader web, you might find a lot of articles are behind a paywall or require a subscription or fee. These tips for finding open access resources will help you find peer-reviewed research that you can access for free. Open access resources are freely available to everyone online, regardless of whether they are affiliated with a university. This is great as it allows a wider range of people to access research. However, open access resources are not always the easiest to find. One way to find open access resources is to search the Directory of Open Access Journals, or DOAJ, for journals that are freely available. You can also download free plugins to your internet browser, such as the Open Access button, Unpaywall, or EndNoteClick. These plugins work by suggesting legal open access versions of publications when you reach a paywall in your online research. You can also go to the library's homepage and click the Access Full Text Anywhere link in order to see more information about these resources. I hope you found this video about advanced search techniques helpful, and if you would like any further support after this video, you can check out our Skills at Library page following the link on this slide. Here we have online guides, tools, and resources saved, and information about additional workshops that we offer. You can also get in contact with your liaison librarian to arrange a one-to-one appointment if you would like more individual support.
Thank you for watching this video on advanced information searching. If you have any questions, please do get in touch by emailing us at libline@essex.ac.uk or visiting the library website.